What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Retro Hoop Collectibles. I've been following PSA's recent announcements. I think they did a post a day ago about their regular service. They posted some frequently asked questions about their regular service, and that's recently spun up a lot of conversation about when we might possibly see the value services and the bulk services and all that stuff. And they addressed that a little bit, and I wanted to just kind of talk about that for a second because while I do think that they are going to bring back the value services, I don't think it's going to be the same as we're used to it being, and I'll explain what I mean by that. So this is the frequently asked questions that they did recently. They posted this up on their Instagram, where they just kind of took a couple of questions. They cherry picked them and put them up here. I'm still waiting on a value order to be processed. Why are you accepting regular orders while you still have a backlog? Very valid question. It's a question that everybody's asking, trying to figure out why the hell it is that PSA is getting more orders in when they can't even keep up with the orders that they currently have. So they gave an answer. I didn't like it. So it says, PSA remains committing to allocating over 80% of our grading resources to processing orders in the backlog. The reintroduction of regular will not slow the process of the backlog of value orders. I call bullshit, right? Because if you have 100% of your resources dedicated to a task, and then you remove 20% of that 100% allocation, it's going to affect the time frame in which your task is going to be completed. So I don't agree with that at all. You can't tell me that you're going to take 20% of work away from a particular task and then say you're going to deliver it in the same amount of time. It's just not going to happen. So what this tells me right here is that they understand what they're doing, right? They have this backlog of really cheap orders that they are making no money on. I can't imagine they're making much margin on those. And they're taking 20% of their resources to go to a higher priced service. It's the same service. You're getting the same exact thing. They're going to grade your card. They're going to slab it. But you're paying 10x, right? So if they have 10 million in the backlog at $10 a card, they just got $1 million in the backlog at $10 a card. Well, of course, they're going to go to the other side to make sure that they get those orders so they can get the revenue, yada, yada, yada. Okay, so it's not hard. I mean, this isn't hard to see that, it's a money grab. Why is PSA limiting submissions? They basically are saying March 2021, an unprecedented number of card submissions. They want to make sure that the queuing system ensures that their submission volume doesn't outpace their capacity. They're doing this almost 18 months too late, right? I mean, it's not hard from an IT perspective to go, holy shit, we're getting a lot of orders, shut down the site. They're not worried about the submission volume outpacing their capacity. They weren't worried about it at that time. For some reason, they're worried about it now because they're dealing with a shitstorm, but whatever. Will regular submissions ever open up fully again? So basically asking, you have a queue system on it now. Will you ever take it off? They're basically saying yes. Here's where things got interesting. When is value service coming back? And then we anticipate lower priced service levels like economy and value to return by mid-2022. Okay. This is where things get interesting because they're saying, yeah, we'll bring it back, but it won't be until next year, mid next year. I think I had said that Q3 of next year is when they'll probably open things back up. But here's the twist. I don't think we will ever see value and bulk submission pricing the way that it was prior to this whole run up. I don't think PSA has a single sliver of incentive to ever sell you a bulk amount of cards at $10 a card ever again. Not when you guys are lining up at the door to pay $100 a card for the same exact service, right? There's no reason. They have no reason to do it, but they're kind of backed into a corner. So they have to do it at some point, right? Because otherwise, they're really going to expose themselves as doing nothing but jacking up the price when their product is in high demand, right? Basically price gouging, right? So they have to give us the $10 bulk submission back at some point. They have to do it. Otherwise, it's just bad PR, right? So what I think that they're gonna do is they're gonna really, I feel this is just me speculating now. I know you guys hate when I speculate and hate when I do this, conspiracy theory type thing, but this is what I think. If I was the head of PSA, I would have to give $10 service back at some point. I'm going to hold off on it as long as I can, but now they've committed to mid-2022. So by mid-2022, they have to bring back that $10 service. And the way that I think that they're going to do it is by leaning on the idea that the $10 service is only going to be for collectors, true collectors, right? Because they've been pushing this whole idea of their set registry, right? And they're going to say, okay, if you sign up with a set registry, if you have a set registry, we will allow you to submit cards at a $10 price point that are going to go towards your set registry, and we're going to cap you off at certain amount every month, however many that is going to be. Because what that's going to do is that's going to kind of go back to think about prior to the run up, right? Let's say 2016, 2015, 2014, okay? If you were submitting cards at $10 a card, let's say you were submitting a base, let's see, what do I got here? Any base? Okay, here we go. This is a base Jishon Tate, Panini Chronicles, Threads. There's no reason to send this off to get graded, right? Other than, hey, I want the entire set of Jishon Tate Chronicles graded in my collection. I want to grade. I want to have and grade every single one of them, right? I'm not doing it to flip. I'm not doing it to do all this crazy stuff. I'm just simply saying, hey, I want this entire collection in my registry. I want to show in my registry that I own the entire collection of Jishon Tate Panini Chronicles, right? And I'm not going to do that at $100 a card. And so I think PSA is really going to limit the type of collector or the type of person that can actually submit a card at $10. And it's going to be, I think, based on that set registry and whether or not you have that card in your set registry already. If you do, I don't think they're going to let you do it at $10 a card. They're going to come up with some way to tie that set registry to whether or not you can submit a card for value or bulk or whatever. I don't think it's going to be called bulk anymore. I think bulk's going to go away altogether. I don't think they're ever going to call it bulk again. I think they're going to call it value service, or they're going to use some sort of, jargon or nomenclature of collector service or collector level service or something like that. That's what I think they're going to do. And it's really the only way that they can minimize the amount of $10 cards that they receive. Because there's no financial incentive for them to ever open up massive, just the mass amount of $10 cards that they're going to get. They have zero incentive to do so. Not when you guys are lining up for $100 and $150 a card. I can't even imagine what it's going to look like whenever they open up like a $75 card service or something like that. You guys are going to be lining up around the corner. So that's my thoughts. That's my thought process. I think that's how I feel like they're going to try to work it into the books, because I just don't feel like they have incentive to do any other way. So that's it. I'm putting my prediction out there. Those are my thoughts. Let me know down in the comments what you think. Am I absolutely out of my tree? Do you guys think I'm crazy? Did I put on my conspiracy theory hats again? I know you guys love telling me that. But I just don't see any other way that PSA could financially decide to open up $10 cards again. Not with this massive machine that they have built that's grading 200 and probably going to be somewhere at peak of 250,000 cards a day. That takes a massive amount of people to do. That takes so many people to do. And at $10 a card, I just don't see them making any money. So I just don't see that happening in the way that it used to be. So once again, you guys tell me down in the comments, do you think I'm crazy? Am I just looking at PSA through a shitty lens? I have obviously my perceptions of PSA and my own feelings about what they do. But if I put that to the side, I just don't see any other way that they can open this back up without completely tanking the company. Yeah. So as always, let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Leave me a like if you like this kind of stuff. I got videos coming out 3 times a week at minimum. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. Follow me on Instagram at Retro Hoop Breaks. And as always, I love y'all. Peace.